This video is about why you keep getting pulled in toxic relationships even when you know they're bad for you, and exactly how to break that cycle. So here's what you'll walk away with today. A clear understanding of why toxic love feels so addictive, how to recognize the emotional bait and hook pattern that keeps you stuck, and a 3-step plan that makes breaking the cycle actually doable, not just something that sounds good in theory. If you've ever said, I know they're not good for me, but I can't let go, you're not broken, you're in a psychological loop. And we're going to break that today. So part number 1, why toxic love feels like a drug. If you've ever felt deeply drawn to someone who made you feel anxious, confused, or hurt, but you couldn't seem to let go, you weren't crazy. You were chemically hooked. Toxic love isn't addictive because you're weak, it's addictive because your nervous system got trained to chase it. So here's the actual psychology. Toxic relationships, especially ones marked by inconsistency, intensity, and emotional unpredictability, mirror the exact mechanics of addiction. Think about it. You get hit with a dopamine spike every time they validate you, chase you, or show affection. Then it's followed by a crash, distance, coldness, blame, silence. You spiral, you overthink, you doubt yourself. Then just before you give up, they come back. Bigger than before, emotional, passionate, intimate. Your brain goes, they love me, I'm safe again. But you're not. You're in a trauma reward loop. It's intermittent reinforcement, the exact same structure used in gambling addiction. So here's what happens neurologically. The dopamine system in your brain starts associating not just the good moments, but also the anxiety leading up to them as part of the reward. So you begin to crave the person more when they're distant. The cycle itself becomes the high, not the connection. And here's the emotional part most people miss. You're not actually addicted to feeling good, you're addicted to the moment of reconnection after disconnection. And that rush of, they came back, I'm not crazy, it's all okay again. That's not love. That's your nervous system starting to feel relieved. So why is this important? You'll keep going back not because you love them, but because your body is trying to resolve a loop it never finished. You'll confuse intensity with intimacy. You'll interpret inconsistency as proof they really feel something deep, because calmness now feels boring. So my question to you, have you ever felt more addicted to the makeup than the relationship itself? If you do, drop in the comments below. Part number 2, the pattern that keeps you hooked. Toxic relationships don't usually start toxic. They start like fireworks. Deep eye contact, late night conversations, trauma bonding through vulnerability, wild chemistry, promises of forever way too early. You feel chosen. It's intoxicating. You think, finally someone who sees me the way I want to be seen. But it's not real intimacy, it's emotional fusion. Fast, intense, but unstable. Then comes the drop. So stage 1, emotional overload. This is the high. The love bombing stage. They text constantly. They call you their soulmate. You hear things like, I've never met anyone like you. We're different. You just get me. They reflect your deepest wounds and desires because they know how to mirror. They feel like a fantasy, but quicker and faster. The problem is this isn't love. It's instant attachment. Your brain is now flooding with feel-good chemicals. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. You're bonding, but not slowly and securely. You're bonding through emotional intensity. Stage number 2, sudden withdrawal, the crash. Then something shifts. Subtle at first. They might pull back emotionally, ignore your message. They might seem cold or distant for no reason, blame you for needing too much, and you spiral. And because you just experienced emotional intimacy, you think this is your fault. You chase, apologize. You're going to try to fix this. This is when your brain enters withdrawal. You're not missing the person, you're panicking without the chemical hit of feeling wanted. This is what makes toxic love feel so urgent. It's not about losing them, it's about losing the version of you that felt lovable in their eyes. And then stage number 3, the emotional hook. They come back. They're emotional, maybe crying. They say they've never felt like this before. You feel that rush of, see, they do love me. But that's not love. That's a relief high. Now your nervous system is fully trained. Chaos equals love, silence equals fear, reconnection equals safety. And the longer you stay in this loop, the harder it becomes to walk away, because your body is more committed to surviving the cycle them finding peace. And I understand you might be thinking, but what if they're just emotionally wounded? I want to help them. Of course, you're an empathetic person. That's a lovely thing to have. It's a strength. But here's the test. Are they working on their wounds, or are they just using them to excuse their damage? Love can be patient, of course it can. But if you're constantly suffering just to earn stability, you're not in love, you're in survival mode. So my question to you, have you ever found yourself trying harder and harder to fix the connection while they did less and less? If you did, comment below. Part number 3, break the cycle, the 3-step recovery plan that's going to work for you. You can't logic your way out of a trauma bond because it's not a thinking problem, it's a body level pattern. So the fix isn't just block them or have more self-worth, it's about rewiring the part of you that learned to associate inconsistency with intimacy and giving your nervous system a different template. This 3-step plan is simple, but it's designed to be practiced, not just understood. So the first step, disarm the fantasy. See the pattern, not the person. When you think about them, you probably fixate on the way they made you feel early on, the passionate moments, the deep conversations, the apologies that felt different this time. But those moments are just the hook, not the truth. Until you break the fantasy, you're going to keep craving what hurt you. Of course you will. So here's the exercise that I would advise. Write down these 3 prompts. What did I feel in the beginning that I'm still chasing now? What repeated behaviors made me feel anxious, small, or confused? And what lie did I keep telling myself to stay? You're not doing this to bash them. You're doing it to see clearly. Clarity is the antidote to longing. So why does this work so well? Your brain is addicted to moments. This helps you reconnect with the whole picture, not just the high points. And I hear you, but I don't want to villainize them. Of course not. And you don't have to. You just need to stop romanticizing the connection that hurts you. Step number 2, regulate the urge. Feel, don't feed. The urge to call them, check their socials, or just get closure is not about the relationship. It's about escaping emotional distance. And unless you interrupt that, you're going to relapse. Of course you will. Not because you want them, but because your brain wants relief. So here's the rule. When the urge hits, pause, name it, move it. Try this. Firstly, sit still. Feel where the urge lives in your body, whether it's your chest, throat, or stomach. Number 2, name it. This is panic, this is loneliness, this is craving, this is my longing. And number 3, move it. Shake, walk fast, breathe out slowly, journal like hell, or say what you want to say out loud without sending it. Why does this work so well? You're not fighting the feeling. You're creating space between impulse and action, which is what is going to help you break a compulsive pattern. And again, I hear you, but I'll feel worse if I don't reach out. Yes, for a moment, but I promise you it will pass. And the next time it hits, you will be stronger to confront the situation. This isn't about not feeling it, it's about learning to survive the feeling without returning to the thing that caused it. So I'd advise you to do this. Say to yourself, I can sit with the ache. I've survived much worse than this discomfort before. And step number 3, rewire the reward. Replace the pattern, not just the person. Here's the most overlooked part. If you don't replace the emotional pattern, you'll repeat it with a new person. So your job now isn't just to let go, it's to give your brain and body new evidence that love doesn't have to feel like survival, that safety isn't boring, that consistency can be just as magnetic once you've detoxed from chaos. So moving forward, your daily 7-day plan might look like this. Number 1, do one thing daily that gives your nervous system a sense of safety. Meditation, physical touch from a friend or a pet, breathing practices, clean eating, sunlight or cold water. These things are going to help reset your baseline from fight or flight to rest and reconnection. Number 2, create small but real emotional highs from healthy sources. Accomplishing one hard task, finishing a workout, laughing hard with someone safe, because your brain wants pleasure. You're just retraining it to not confuse pain with passion. And again, I hear you, this feels too slow, I want it to be over now. That's the addiction talking, of course it is. It wants a spike, not a solution. So say this to yourself, I don't need another high, I need healing. And healing isn't a moment, it's a direction. So here's what we've covered today. Why toxic love feels like a drug and why your brain keeps going back. The exact emotional pattern that keeps you hooked. And a 3-step plan that breaks the cycle if you follow it, not just hear it. So drop a comment below for what part of this cycle hit you the hardest, or maybe one thing you've tried this week to move forward, even if it's just 1%. And if this helped, please of course subscribe. We don't do empty affirmations here. We unpack the hard stuff with clarity so you don't repeat old pain in new relationships. And share this with someone who keeps asking, why can't I just let go? Because remember, you're not addicted to a person, you're addicted to a feeling you never got to finish. But you can finish it in you, without the chaos, without the loop, just by choosing peace over panic. As always, thank you so much for watching. I've been Jack, and I'll see you at the next one.